Good morning, everyone. Happy ETH merge day. We hope. It's starting to slow down as we get closer and closer. How is everyone doing today? I've got so much to talk about. I was almost late in starting this stream because I was watching your comments in the chat there. Be sure to jump in and say hi. Once you're in here, let me know you're here. Hello, Kevin. Tim, Brett, Ryan, Jessica, Shannon, James. Good to see so many of the TTC tribe here. Kat, Claire, Prasad. Awesome. Okay. So obviously we are going to be very focused on the ETH merge today. The idea was to go live during the merge. However, overnight there has been a delay, not a delay, but what's happening now as we get closer and closer, it's the estimated time is moving out further and further, which makes sense because at around this time now, the ETH miners will be turning off their machines, which slows down this hash thing or whatever that it's reliant upon in order for the merge to happen. So right now for the ETH miners, it is pants off Friday, moved forward to Thursday. And it's like, when you give your 2 weeks notice and you have mentally checked out, but you're just physically there until the 2 weeks are over. That is how the ETH miners are behaving right now. Some of them have checked out and taken a last day sickie, decided to finish early. And then the other ones with the hard-working bosses have gone, this is our chance to make as much money as we can. You are staying till the final hour. And so because of that, this is likely to get more and more delayed. So even though it currently says 5 hours, 34 minutes, it's only an estimation. We have to keep watching it throughout the day, keep refreshing the page and whatnot, because, could end up being longer than 5 hours and 34 minutes. So with that in mind, let's just talk about everything else going on in general. Actually, you know what? I'm going to first just take a very quick look at this on the 15-minute time frame. I know you probably don't really care too much about Bitcoin at this point in time. All eyes are on ETH. But I do want to point this out, just a follow on from yesterday's video. So we had our first drop here yesterday. Day before, sorry. We had this one here. Now, in yesterday's video, I mentioned that I thought this right here was drop level 2 and that there was one more to come. As the day progressed, we had 2 news events that we needed to be aware of. And if I zoom into those, you can see here it was the GBP CPI and then also the PPI. Now, the GBP did actually nothing. The interesting thing here to note is that notice how right before the few 15-minute candles before the news event, the market maker didn't turn up. That there was the hint that probably nothing was going to happen on this news event. Whereas when you have a look here, you can see the market maker was here driving prices up whilst they built their shorts. So this was a bit of a non-event. And then we went into PPI. And again, this is where the market maker then decided to turn up. We had a move down this time, but then a very weak push up as the news actually came out. At this point in time, I actually thought there was a potential for this to be a W formation right here. But what I wanted was to see price break the 50 EMA. And you can see here, it didn't break the 50 EMA. I did hedge a long position here just in case because, I had a good short position and for me, it was going into my bedtime. So I did hedge along, which did end up getting stopped out, but it doesn't matter because my short was still open. So that's kind of what happened there. And then this led us into level 3. So now, and level 3 took us right into our area of interest that we had previously marked. So that, in my opinion, that was a perfect play. Go us. And now, excuse me, we have a W formation here that formed right on the dead gap zone. It has broken the 50 with volume. So far, so good. We have not yet, however, broken this level from yesterday at around 20,380. So that's the next thing. I really want to see it break that level if we're to continue to get more rises today. So far holding above the 50. great. That's a great starting point in this current retest. However, Asia hasn't opened yet. So reminder that we are in the dead gap zone, the most manipulated zone of the day. And this could be a fake move and anything could happen once Asia opens. So in order for me to think that Bitcoin will have more upside today, I would want to see if price retraces. It's okay if it comes in to recover this candle, but ideally not any lower. So that might give us a retest, or also retest the yesterday's low of the day, and all will be good. Excuse me. All will be good if we get that retest in there. Hopefully back up to this 200 EMA and then test. However, because we do have a news event and there's potential for there to be, a massive bullish push prior to ETH actual merge happening, it's very possible that we break these 200s and we turn into an irrational move up. So, right now, there's nothing telling us that that's going to happen. But once the market's open, that's what I'll be looking for, is some sort of an irrational move up for me to exploit. My initial zones is kind of, a retest into here, hopefully stay around the 50 EMA-ish, and then head up to here. And then if we can break that, there's also significant orders in trading light at 20,550, I believe. Are they still there? Yeah. 20,550, and that lines up with this area here just underneath this box. So really, if we do have more upside today, 20,550 is what we need to break on Bitcoin. And if we do, then I think we're going to have one of those irrational days, which they're fun if you know how to trade them. By the way, shout out to you if you have made money this week, because this is probably one of the most hectic weeks we've had in a long time. We've had CPI, we've had, two CPIs, a PPI. We've got more news events today at 10:30 p.m. Melbourne time. We've got a whole bunch of news events. We've got the merge. We've got the quadruple witching, which we spoke about earlier this week. This is happening on Friday. And then we've got my other news that I'm going to talk about in a second. There is so much going on this week. So if you're making money, well done for your focus. But definitely the week to trade smaller time frames. Take your profits on, quick trades, get in, get out. Don't try to hold beyond your levels. Slay the game. So anyway, that's what I'm looking for. Obviously, the invalidation is a break below this candle right here that then creates a lower low from here. So the other thing too is if we do hold this and get that push up there, there is a chance we don't break through this level, and that would be a shorting opportunity. So that's another thing to keep an eye on. Even though I don't think that would be the case, you don't know until price gets there. We did have a pretty big wick off at the initial time, and it's possible that this repeats over here. So always got to keep an open mind about that and not develop a bias just because it's ETH merge day. Now let's look at ETH now that we've got Bitcoin out of the way. So ETH is definitely not following the model this week, but again, we know that news events disrupt the model, and the news event is ETH, so that's normal. However, what did happen yesterday was a very clear W formation here. The good thing about this one was that this wick here did not close below this wick. So very good spot to anywhere in here have taken long positions, because your stop should always be below the first peak W. So therefore, even if this came down for us on this side of the world, this would have been in our sleep. Our trades would have been safe if our stop was where our stop needs to be. We do not do stop losses like this. Let me just give you a very poor example of a stop loss where you take an entry on a position like this. Wait, I've got to make it worse because this is what I see online. And your stop loss is not clearing previous structure. Like that, these people need to stop trading. But anyway, so point being, if your stop was where your stop needs to be, had you have longed anywhere here, your long would currently still be safe. The good part then is this area here that I'd marked out from yesterday was the next area that I wanted to see it break, because that was the middle peak W. We've only just done that this morning. Again, reminder, we've done it in the dead gap zone, so it could be a fake move, but so far so good. And we're above the 50 EMA. This has broken above the 200 and retested. As long as, and see now how these EMAs are starting to curve up. What we want to see next is the 10, 20, 50, one by one, start to get up above the 200. That's going to be positive for more upside. The problem is, well, not a problem, but the things to watch is that we're very, very close to the 800 EMA, which is a target as well. So if you're not already long, like too late to long, you'd have to hope for a decent retracement. But being the day that it is, why would they give you a decent retracement? I'm not too sure. So it may just be too late if you're not already in. But we've got an 800 target here, 800 EMA, that also lines up with the 50% daily candle line. So the big red daily candle here that happened from the drop, that is at 1660. Again, if we have an irrational move today because of the pre-merge, we're probably going to smash that. If we do smash that, then we're just coming back to recover all of this imbalance, really. So those are things to keep an eye on. Again, if we can't get above that 800 and the 50 percent line at around that 1660, that's also where you would look for rejection for a move to the downside. Doesn't make sense, but you never know, and you can't just assume we're going to be bullish today just because it's pre-ETH merge, right? So just be careful about that. Oh, Malad, thank you so much for that gift. That's so nice of you. I appreciate that a lot. So now I'm done with that. What else do I want to talk about? Let's talk about these heat maps. So Bitcoin, I've cleared this out a lot so that we can really zoom in on what's going on. Nothing there, nothing exciting there at this point in time. Let's see when Asia opens in a few minutes if we get some more significant orders either side. Ethereum as well. Now with Ethereum, there were earlier buy orders below price. Sorry, they may have gotten filled or whatnot, but they're gone now. We do have sell orders. The problem is, just being the day that it is, we're probably going to smash through any sell orders that we see up here. And in order for them to be significant, like you can see, hopefully you can see, I'm zoomed in enough for that you can see that all these short orders, 8K, 6K, 7K, they're just not going to be big enough to cause a reversal on a day like this. And I was watching this column here earlier, just before we actually went live, and one thing to point out was that, see here, when you're looking at the size of the orders, the only ones that are 3 figures are all long positions. So the big money is pushing price up, which is scary, because if big money is pushing price up, it's for a reason. It's to trap us to then reverse it a little bit later on. However, when you can't really see too many, they're starting to come in a little bit here, but in comparison, there aren't that many large short orders. Now, these are filled orders over here. So you have to watch this column in the moment to see when the balance shifts from long to short. That's going to give you an idea that potentially a pullback is coming, or potentially a rejection is coming, if it lines up with your other TA, of course. So, moral of the story is I probably won't pay too much attention to the heat maps today, because I do expect an irrational day, and I do think that even if there are large shorts, they're probably going to get smashed through unless they're sitting at a very key level based on, your technical analysis. Let's now look at the high block. This is the Bitcoin here. So you can see that this dropped down the other day, wiped out all of that long leverage. We've now flipped bearish. We are currently sitting at a delta of 16 billion. And what have we got significant up here? Around 20.5, which was the area I said we need to break. So 20.5 will wipe out the late short traders. And then, we're free to move high. If they smash that, then they're coming for these ones up here. And, that's where it's going to start to get quite large. but wouldn't put it past on a day like this. Let's have a look at the ETH one. So ETH was so typical that we are moving up today, even besides the fact that it's merge day. If you have a look, when we drop down our what is this thing called? Our delta was sitting around 10 billion, and see how we've got this big basic shelf here. So we went from 10 to 7. So that's a 3 billion wipeout in this little move. It's not little, this move here, right? Where you would think that 3 billion is a lot of money and would probably make, put a bigger movement on the chart, but this is it. This move here wiped out 3 billion already. So yeah, if we continue up, they have got these targets here to come into, and they are large. They are very, very large. So those numbers are 1683, that is around the 50% line that we marked off, 1700, and then 1733. Is there more above that? Yes, probably, but it's off our visible range, so we can't see it for now. But yeah, a move up to this, an irrational move up to this, is going to wipe out any short traders who have not taken profit and do not have stop losses. Now, was there anything else I have to say? Again, same thing. Every area that is a target for a long is also a target to look for a rejection for a potential short. Just may not happen today, and just be aware of that. I think it probably would be a little bit of a mistake to short today, to be honest. You just have to judge price action at the time. Next, let's move on. So quadruple witching day. Sorry, you know about this. We spoke about this 2 days ago. So be careful of that, because that is September 16. And what this is futures and options are derivatives linked to underlying stock prices. When derivatives expire, traders must close or adjust positions that can trigger significant volume and order flow. The 4 types of derivatives that are expiring on the 16th of September are stock index futures, single stock options, options on stock index futures, stock index options. So it is a big day, and that is coming up this Friday. So is it possible, if I were a market maker, would I continue to drive price up even post-merge until this day here to then reverse it? Probably, depending on how much leverage I can build in the market. That is certainly something that I would do. It kind of makes sense, right? So a lot of people are expecting straight dump after the merge. I'm a little bit skeptical about that. It could be that we dump into the merge and pump out of even. You have to be prepared for that. But I would not say that as soon as that merge happens is the time to short. Like, definitely watch price action and only trade what you see. Do not trade off emotion. There will be high emotion, especially today, with everybody forming opinions. So certainly do not do that. And if you don't think you can handle your emotions, just don't trade at all. Take the day off. But simply because we've got that witching event on Friday, and today's Thursday, it sort of makes sense to me that they will keep this going to the upside after the event and then turn it around. Could happen the other way. They could drop this after the event and then turn it around on Friday. However, all of that is not even the main thing that I wanted to tell you. What I wanted to talk about was an even more significant event than this, and that is that the CME Group premieres ETH futures options on the 18th. I think it's on the 18th. Now, if you have a look over here, this is the reaction that has happened every time CME has launched futures options or something on to do with crypto. The very first time was 2017 when they launched Bitcoin futures, and that literally was the top for 2017 bull run, with a massive, massive sell-off afterwards. This one here, actually, this was the one that triggered me to start investigating market makers, because I remember in 2020, before this happened, the reason that this was pumping so hard was because everyone was talking about CMEs coming into Bitcoin, and it was going to bring in billions and billions of dollars and Bitcoin was going to go to the moon. And doesn't that story sound very familiar now to like BlackRock partnering with Coinbase? Everybody said the same thing, right? And then on the day, literally on the day, it just died. And I couldn't make sense of it. And that's when I started really looking into like, how did they trade? Like, what makes sense? And that's the moral of the story is like, these people, these market makers, they're not buying high prices. You know, they're not going to buy up here at the top. They are certainly going to drive it down, get it cheap, and cause a lot of pain before they turn it around. This one here was the Bitcoin, options on Bitcoin futures. And we did dump after, but I don't think we can blame this dump on the Bitcoin futures simply because this dump was Corona dump. So this one I will keep out of the equation, to be fair. The micro ETH futures, however, did end our current bull market. It was literally on the M formation of our most recent bull market right here on this day here, and we died off afterwards. So the thing about this one is this date says September 12th, but it's not. It's in it's changed to the 18th now. But the thing is that this has the potential to become the level 3 weekly drop that we've been waiting for all this time. The only caution I will say, because I'm very careful about people building biases and just saying, oh, because this happened, it's definitely going down. You still have to trade what you see. The only difference that I personally see right now leading into it is that these ones here were at cycle tops. They caused basically cycle tops. We're not at a cycle top. We're already in a bear market. Could the opposite happen? Could this come in and create our cycle bottom? Very possible. So just be aware of that. So I think it's this Monday coming up. So the moral story is we have so many tricky days that we have a potential pump into the merge, and then we have many things. We have the quadruple witching on Friday. We have this around Monday that could definitely cause some major pain in the market. So definitely be on your toes, and if you can't be on your toes, don't trade. That is pretty much all I really have to say. Let's take one very quick look now that has Asia opened? Asia has just opened. So let's watch this together. I know that currently this does look like an M formation, but I'm not giving that, paying any attention to that right now. I do expect a sell-off, not a sell-off. I do expect a potential retracement, but as long as we stay in my zones, I should move this zone now. Then I'm looking for bounces to continue to the upside. I personally am not looking for shorts. Obviously, I'm already short, so I don't really care. But even if I wasn't short, I wouldn't be shorting today. And that's pretty much all I have to say. If you have enjoyed this video, please smash up that like button. Smashing up the like button nice and early in my videos, even though this is now the end, really helps me get my videos around the internet. So I really appreciate it when you do smash that button early. If you haven't, please do that now. Be sure to like and subscribe as well so that you can be notified every time I go live. And as always, my preferred exchange to trade on is OKX. If you are looking for an exchange to trade on, we can trade futures, we can trade everything there. And you get a 15% discount on trading fees if you use the link below. Have an amazing day, everyone, and be safe. And this is my last update on YouTube for the week. So either join us in the Discord. The link to my Discord is in the description of the video, or be sure to follow me on Twitter for updates. Goodbye.